What up? It's Two Shots in Hip Hop, Volume 6. Today we're going to talk about creating content, my interview hit list, and t-shirt business. And I'm going to show you guys some shirts that I made. I started making shirts real early, back in like the early 2000s. So this is my boy Play B. This song right here is called Progression off his Jealousy album that he dropped like in 2016, I want to say. Dope track. Here we go.
They say if you ain't great, then these niggas don't hate. Excuse the greatness, pardon me. Loyalty is royalty, blood ain't always family. I share my last with you, nigga. Why the fuck you mad at me? You put hoes over bros, and that's sad to see. That what this really about? Clearly it had to be. Gotta pick your battles wisely when you pick and choose. I'm so alone, these snake ass niggas wanna see me snooze. Spike my dinner and then wanna watch me eat my food. Hit me out the blue like Kiki Palmer leaking news. Kiki my boo, so I ain't complaining. Niggas be snakes, but what is you gaining? We should have a heart to heart, but tell me what's the use? When people ask why we don't talk, make sure you tell the truth. If you love something, let it go. If you fuck with me, let me know. 850 on the credit score. Not a gapper, baby, that's the goal. My wrist is froze, it's dipped in gold. These chicks is bold, that shit get old. I've hit the gym, and shit it shows. Straight progression shit, all the nigga knows. Time for the bullshit, I found a better use. Figured out the right angle, your little shit obtuse. Wanna assassinate me, you gotta shot and shoot. I'm dodging bullets like duck, duck, you fucking goose. Nah, I can't chill with you, baby, unless you're interesting. Time is of the essence, and a nigga about progression. So put more time and energy in hoes than they profession. Counterproductive substance, these hoes are how you stress. Cállate la boca, you told me I'm so sad. Life goes, sipping pucanas and blowing mota. I done been some places that you ain't, plus I done seen some things. Imagine waking up and still living the dream. Hit me with the harpoon, but I'm like harp on. Dodge a lynch without a hitch, I'm thankful like Marshawn. I cross my goal line every time I see hawks. Some other niggas round here just cheap talk, sweetheart. If you love something, let it go. If you fuck with me, let me know. 850 on the credit score. Not a gapper, baby, that's the goal. My wrist is froze, it's dipped in gold. These chicks is bold, that shit get old. I've hit the gym and shit it shows. Straight progression shit, all the nigga knows. Patience for bullshit, matter of fact it's wearing thin. You buy what you can't afford, not talking Harrison. Somewhere how you think my success is from Ferris skin. The fact that we still talking races getting embarrassing. 2015, get your life tame on. You put off 2 days just to do tomorrow. And I don't feel bad, I don't feel no song. Hell yeah, I'm talking shit, so wear it if the shoe fit, nigga. Truth is, I got love for you, stupid. Forgive you, but I can't never forget the shit that you did. You little bitch ass, snitch ass, snake ass, fake ass, disgrace. Homie, you a mistake. Born to dictate, never follow orders. Stick face, get your shit straight. Fucker, this is big play. Speak when I see you, but we ain't cool. So like the song with Sean say, you know the words, fool. If you love something, let it go. If you fuck with me, let me know. 850 on the credit score. Not a gapper, baby, that's the goal. My wrist is frozen.
Yeah. I gotta get these sound levels right. Make sure I got stuff in the background at the same time. Be able to hear me and hear the music. But yeah. Like I said, man, I'm talking about my interview hit list. So it's people I want to interview for this podcast. I'm going to just go over it real quick. Matter of fact, I got the list right here. And this is just, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, this list is going to get bigger as we go along here. But take this. What is that? You got lint all over me. Can't even get it. Gonna drive me crazy. Hold up. Yeah, my bad. I know what the fuck. But yeah, interview hit list, man. Some people I already reached out to several people here on this list, but I got people I want to hit up. I got V the Ruler. I got E Sauce, J Rob the Chief, Derez, Futuristic, Jacob Owens. He's the dude that he directs videos for Futuristic. Conscious Pilot, he's a producer. I played his stuff before. DJ John Blaze, he does Icon Radio. And my boy Bubba Dak, my boy Ash, my boy Sleep, my boy Play B right here, my boy Bubba Dak. So that's on my list so far. That's like, I don't know, like 10, 12 people, whatever it is. But yeah, those are the ones I'm gonna start out with. That's my interview hit list right there. So I'm gonna be contacting these people as we go along. Like I said, I already reached out to several people, so that's gonna be coming up. Wanted to talk about creating content. The way I've been trying to create my content for this podcast is I have a whole bunch of stuff that I want to talk about, basically. So it hasn't been too difficult to come up with content. Now it's just putting it together. So when I first started this, I started doing this just real raw, just like I said before, just got on and just started talking. And I'm gonna get better at putting things into sections for everybody, and then, you know what I'm saying, writing on the podcast, things like that. But it's always good to see where people come from and then see where they're going. And that's what I wanted to start with. I was like, you know, shit ain't perfect. That's what held me back for so many years, just trying to think that I needed to make shit perfect. But, you know, you don't really, whatever you're doing, you don't necessarily have to make it perfect. Like, I want a green screen, I want a fat desk, I want, you know what I'm saying, dope ass shit behind me, things like that. I want like maybe bring back the pimp cups with my logo on it and do shit like that. But, you know, you progress to that level, so I'll eventually get there. But my creating content was simply rap shit. I have a lot of rap shit that I like to talk about. I talk about a lot of hip hop. I want to push the culture for Arizona hip hop forward in my own way. You know, basically be an ambassador for hip hop, and I really want hip hop to pay me for being loyal for so many years. Just hip hop's been a part of my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? From way back when I first was young. You know, I don't know how old I was. 8, 9, whatever it was, but first album I ever got and I just listened to all the way through was I want to say, well, Jodeci is the first album that I actually bought. Jodeci was what was it? Forever My Lady was the first joint I ever bought, and I bought that thing on cassette. But I remember listening to Tupac's Me Against the World, like, constantly. Just Tupac, Me Against the World, just kept playing it. That's what people had, you know, that time to digest albums, because albums didn't come out as rapidly and there was no mixtapes like that. So albums didn't come out as rapidly. You had time to digest and get every word. I listened to Nas as it was written, memorized every word to that album. E40's The Hall of Game. Listen to that album. I remember cats used to have fat CDs. Jason Kelly is one kid I know in particular. They used to have just a book, and he had everything. He had so many CDs. But I remember my homie, his name William Baldwin, went into what was it? It was a Target, or it was like it was some music place that. And I remember he went in and filled a backpack full. He told me about it. I don't know if he actually did it. Filled a backpack full of CDs and just like ran out like the back door or something like that, and just came up on a whole bunch of CDs. So it was crazy, man, how cats used to what we used to do to get CDs at the time. They were like $16-20 a piece, things like that. I remember getting all the Machiavellis on tape from my homie who used to work at Food City. I got all the Machiavellis, like 1 through like 8 or whatever it was at the time, on tape. Got all the Machiavellis, man, and this was after Pac had died, and I was like, it was like in junior high when Pac died. But yeah, man, it was just so many instances of those things occurring. So like I said, back to my point was hip hop needs to, I want to get paid from talking about hip hop is basically what I'm saying. I want to get paid for being loyal to this game for so long, and just representing the culture in arguments, online, offline, whatever it was, and just recognizing what's real versus what's bullshit in hip hop. So I wanted to talk about it in my podcast. I have a lot of content that I'm going to be coming up with and things that I'm going to be doing and showing people as far as that rap and hip hop shit is concerned. This is called Two Shots in Hip Hop. I will be having liquor bottles, like I'm going to be having Patron, rum, vodka, maybe a little gin in there, some whiskeys, doing some shots with people that I interview. Just doing shots by myself when I'm sitting here doing this, because it helps loosen up the lips, helps get you talking. But yeah, I'm also converting this to YouTube. I just uploaded the first 4 to YouTube. Number 5 was live. And again, I am going to be going live again this weekend, like on Saturday or Sunday. And I'm going to go do an hour's worth of my people's music. I'm probably going to play some instrumentals. So if people want to send me some instrumentals, I know I'm going to reach out to several people for some instrumentals that I can play for my intro. If somebody wants to, once I get a lot of instrumentals, I'm probably going to settle on at least a running, reoccurring intro song. If not that, I'm definitely going to be playing my homie stuff like I did at the beginning of this one. So that's going to be fun, just picking out that music, playing like the different joints. But I eventually want to settle into like an intro music and then probably play my friend's stuff. So I think that's how I'm going to go about doing that. So there's also some goals that I have for Two Shots in Hip Hop as a podcast and things that I want to do. I want to do an 8-song EP with a lot of people that I know, a lot of producers that I know, a lot of friends that I know that rap. Definitely want to get on to that and get that popping. So I chose 8 songs. I think 8 songs is good because there might be maybe a skit or 2, which might make it like 10, tracks or whatnot. But I definitely want 8 solid songs on there. I do want to do an Icon Radio podcast because Icon Radio has people doing podcasts, but I want to get my shit up enough before I branch out onto other people's platforms. I want to reach out to Well Connected AZ because I see what they're doing, and Southside Radio as well because I see what they're doing. And, I stumble across other people's stuff and contact them. I just want to branch out and represent hip-hop and Arizona hip-hop as best as I can. So reaching out and collabing, just like rappers do or should do, to get great content, man, you got to reach out and holler at people. That's the best way, I think, to go about doing it, and that I've seen people be successful at it. So wanted to touch on that. Eventually, these liquor places are going to be paying for me to post, whatever liquor they have to post on my podcast, because, you know what I'm saying, they're going to pay me for that. What was that? I don't know what it is, but I'm drinking it and they're paying me for it. I forgot what song that was on. That was a jam. Oh, it's that boy's song.
The game is oversaturated. Nigga styles is outdated. Ask me for my take. Honestly, I hate it. I'm always imitated, nothing short of innovative. Young trendsetter, who you rappers been afraid of? Fucking renegader, but I ain't Eminem. Hate me and envy me, it's all just a synonym. She ain't want me to fuck, well that's an antonym. Damn play, why them haters all up on your sack again? TMI the acronym, skip over adjectives.
I will be writing full album reviews. I have East Sauce that I'm listening to currently called Boss Zone. J Rob the Chief, Highs and Lows. And I'll definitely be doing like a full review. I actually want to write it out and I'll post it on, I guess, on my Facebook page for now until I get another format to put it on. Maybe my Tumblr. I do have a Tumblr, so I'll probably end up posting it on there. I wanted to shave, but I was like, at the same time, man, I'm just going to go hard, let this shit grow out before I shave that joint. But yeah, so let's go over some, like I said, I do T-shirts. I've done T-shirts since like the early 2000s. I did one called Cordell Parker, which is my old alias, my AKA. Shouldn't have even said that, but that's what it is. I gotta find that shirt. I have a box of shirts right here that I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I don't think it's there, but I gave them out to a couple cats. That was early. That was when I was partying heavy up in the streets of Tempe and Scottsdale, drinking, wilding out. But let me step this back here a little bit, show y'all some of the tees. This is my boy DJ Myth. Like I said, DJ Myth's gonna be definitely part of this. I'm doing this with him. Just started off, a DJ homie. This Drop Top Entertainment. This is his tee. I think he has a new logo that he is doing, so he might have some. Actually, matter of fact, I do know he has some new tees. He has a website. It's a. Let me pull that up. What is Miss website? If I don't find it, I'll just I'll put it in the next podcast. But yeah, so that's that. I had this idea to do. What's that dude? Rampage. I had Rampage. I had this design that I saw online. Had this lady make it in Mesa a while back, but now I use it. Don't even use this as a workout shirt because this was a way big shirt. It was a lot bigger, but I used it as a workout shirt. Put that on there. This right here is one that's super dope. That's from my homie Merc Hayes. He makes beats too. I gotta holler at Merc and see what he's been up to. But this the Gun Devil. This shit's dope. We gotta redo this one, Merc. Make sure I get the thing up in there. This is my Daywalkers, a Daywalker crew. Back when we was doing it. This friend of mine when I used to work at I forgot what it was, Countrywide, and my homie made shirts. He made that one for me. Told him what design I wanted. He made it for me. So this is one that I did. It's Bruce Lee. I just took a picture from online and did it, but I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee. So I did that tee for myself. And like these are just custom tees that I've done. You know what I'm saying? They're picture tees, obviously, but I use different designs, the ones that people don't have. This right here is the Yakuza, and this was that dude in the white was the boss in the 80s, and this is when he became boss in the 80s or something like that. And this was at the funeral of one of the Yakuza mob bosses that had passed away, and they were rolling deep. Like, I only got part of it, but they were a lot deeper than that. You can see cats in the background, but I thought that shit was super dope. Homies just rolling in the white, everybody else in black. That's one of my. I'm probably gonna remake that one. This right here, and I know this is all cut up. This I got from some cat. It's called Grassroots. This I got from some cat in Tempe a while back, and he was doing shirts. He was just giving away shirts at the back of his trunk just to get his shit out there, man. And it was called Grassroots. I wore that, multiple times, man. That shit. When I first had it, it was real fresh. Obviously, I messed it up now, but it was real fresh when I first had it. Fixed my tee real quick. This was my first, not my first, but one where I started to get serious in my designs. This was Squad Up. Had this one professionally made. Had my logo on the back. And gave these. I had a good run on these. Gave these out to the homies to rock. We rocked it at where were we at? We were at Wasted Velvet. I think at the time. No, it was Wasted when I was rocking that. Yeah. I'm about to have a yard sale pretty soon here. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on that. I might go FB Live when I do the yard sale, so y'all come through. I'm gonna be selling this Arizona State joint. I got this. I forgot where I got it from. I want to even possibly say say Ross, man, but it was super dope. It's just way too big for me now. But that was one of my favorites. That's like a vintage joint. I'm probably gonna sell that one. Got the Tupac, the driver's license. If anybody wants this one, I could definitely remake this one because I still have the image, and I thought it was dope having Pac's driver's license on there. Obviously, these tees are faded. These are old tees, so they're definitely faded. That's why you see them crinkling and cracked and whatnot. So that's the reason for that. This is Jodeci, one of my favorite groups. My daughter's middle name is Jodeci. And I made this joint out their first album cover, Forever My Lady. This one is still fresh because I took care of it. Didn't wear it a lot. Didn't want to mess it up too much. So shout out to Jodeci. Like I said, the first album I bought was a Jodeci album. This is HBO Pixar. This is The Wire. If you ever seen The Wire, it's one of the greatest shows in television history. But they obviously rocked it and switched it up out of the Toy Story font. But that joint's fresh right there. I kept this one fresh too. I never rocked it too much because I thought it was dope. Also do, like I said, comic stuff. I'm a big comic book fan. So this is the Skrull Invasion joint I used to rock. So there's all your favorite heroes and whatnot were cloned, or not cloned, but were impersonated by a group of aliens called the Skrulls, and they impersonated like a bunch of heroes in an attempt to take over the planet, things like that. You know how comic books are. This is when we first started. My boy Merc Hayes. This is another Daywalkers one. Different style font, but we did fabric paint. You just did the font. The process was sort of long because you laid down the font and then you did several coats of fabric paint onto the shirt to make it. I mean, you can still do this. I mean, I can still do this if anybody wanted like their own little logo on a shirt, not necessarily a logo, but whatever writing you want on the front of it. You can do fabric paint. The fabric paint lasts forever, and that shit is like, even right now it's still fresh and vibrant. Like it stays on there forever. I don't recommend white tees anymore because the color gets dirty. I like black tees, but you can do white tees, and you just got to keep them clean. Is basically what it comes down to when it comes to white tees. So. But like I said, I've been doing this t-shirt stuff for a long time. It's just finding, your own concept, your own design, and then your own niche. Like now, my shirts consist of, which is my own niche, I guess I would say, is I took all my old hip-hop magazine covers and cut out things and made collages out of them. So it became my own art, basically. And it's not something anybody else is gonna have because anybody else have all these, magazines, and nobody, even if they did, they're not gonna arrange. And if they start doing what I do, they're not gonna arrange the shirts in the way that I do. So every shirt that I have is unique in that way, and nobody else is gonna have that shirt because I made it and it's unique. You know what I mean? So other people can copy the style, but it's just not gonna be the same as what I personally made. This is when we was rapping, man. Wild Records. This is my boy Heat Strokes album. This was the promo tee, and then we had the in the back, the album. Heat Stroke, Catch Me If You Can, full length LP, summer 04. Executive producer AT Dub. Wild Records. The heat is on. I thought this shit was so dope, man. And I don't know why the hell this shirt is so big. And whose freaking hairs are these on the thing? Probably my ex's, to be honest with you, because that ain't my freaking hair. This is an old shirt that I had in the box. But yeah, that heat stroke. The heat is on. Another Wilder Records shirt that we made. We made this like in '04 before we went to Rocky Point, Mexico. We went to Mexico 2 weekends in a row. I swear I threw up that. I got put in jail the first night that I got to Mexico on spring break. So the first weekend we got there, I got put in jail for like 10 hours. And then my boy Heatstroke ended up getting put in the little jail too. The first night we got there, I ain't gonna say why, but we got put in for, you know, they want to get you for anything in Mexico, man. They actually got my money that I had in my little pocket, and my little pocket in your jeans, and I had you know, a coin pocket, I guess I would say. I have money in there too, man. Them dudes came up on me, man. They search you real quick. They take everything, man. They don't care. It was cool. They just wanted money. Is what it came down to in Mexico. But yeah, first night I got there, we got bailed out for like, both of us, for like $110 from some other cat that used to be down there all the time, and he knew how to work the system or whatever, whatnot. They just wanted money. I'll tell you a real quick story about that. We was down there, and they put the Americans that initially when I got in, they had some Mexican cats and there's some white kids up in there. And the cats started messing with the white kids, man. They wasn't messing with me, man. They didn't really care, but they was messing with the white kids. So they eventually had to separate the Americans and the Mexicans that were there. I smoked like 4 cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes, and I smoked like 4 cigarettes that time that I was there, just so I can calm down, because I was up in there, and I didn't know when I was gonna get out. My boy Heatstroke got in there. He got in there, and he immediately, within like maybe a few hours, because it was at nighttime, so going to nighttime when he got in there. That fool, he had been in jail before or whatnot, and these were slabs. Like, it was just one bunk and then another bunk below. We were at the top. This fool just laid down and passes out on the hard ass, no blanket, no nothing, hard ass slab of freaking bunk bed. This fool just goes up in there, passes out, man. I could not sleep. I didn't sleep that whole night. I didn't sleep till we got out, like basically in the morning, when the homies found us, because they couldn't find the jail that we was at. And another thing about that whole thing was they had the guards, and they had like a canine walking, you know, back and forth in the jail cells, and there was like maybe like a puddle of water like in the middle of like our cell, and then they had like a thing of water, like you know, the gallon waters that you put in your little dispenser. They had one sitting there, and the dog came by and licked the whole top of the water that was supposed to be I wasn't drinking no Mexican water anyway, but the dog licked the rim of the top lid of the thing, so nobody was definitely drinking that. But I remember just watching the dog just come by, and the prison dude, the guard dude, just let him do it, man. It was cold-blooded, man. Nobody was drinking it anyway, but still, like, just let the dog, like, drink on it, man. That was messed up. But yeah, that was and the rest of the trip was good. It was cool. They kept trying to mess with us a bit, but you know, they couldn't mess with us anymore after that. And then the next weekend was really popping, and I had we got free drinks because we were performing at this like little club, but I had like way too many whiskey shots, and I threw everything in my stomach up that night. But it was still a good time. That's my Mexican story. I won't go into details about the rest of it, but it was definitely fun. 2 weekends in a row we went, man. But this is the shirt that we made at like Fiesta Mall before we left, and that's my number 81. My rap name 81. On my business cards 81. 81 as my cousins call me. This is another Wild and Records joint that we did. This is actually the one that I had designed. I don't know why I put the dub R in the middle. I think I could have did without, but I chose a different font. And then I had Heatstrokes, one of Heatstrokes rap lines on the back. So this was Heatstroke shirt. It was I came with the shutdown now, rappers can't breathe. But that 4/5 like that ass up like New Year's Eve. And then it's heat stroke. One of his lines. This I'm probably gonna wear this one as a workout tee still, because that one I think is small enough. Yeah, it's a XL. So this is the black version of that other tee that I was showing you guys. So I like the black. I did like the white because the white and the red pop. Let me turn this light down a little bit. But it definitely looked good. The white and red and the white and black look good either way. It really can really go wrong. It's about choosing the right font that you want to use. So, and then I did. So there's a blue version of that heat stroke joint, and this time without the dub bar in the middle. It's the same thing on the back. Did it in blue and white. In hindsight, I think I should have had them do the front font bigger. I think they messed up on that because the other one was a lot bigger than that. So I don't know what's up with that. So this was the other blue one, and this is one of my rap lines when I was rapping. It was and right now you don't even know the name of my band, but you will know my name when I fucking Lindsay Lohan. And that was when Lindsay Lohan just barely came out, and she was young and hot. So I put her in the rap line. Had that on the back. This is the I Need a Deal joint that my homie Merc did for Heat Strokes. I Need a Deal mixtape. Had the dub R on the back, and again, this is done with the fabric paint. And like I said, doing that fabric paint, man, it stays on there. Obviously, you don't want to overdo with the fabric paint, but fabric paint definitely works. It stays on there for a long time, and it's a cheap alternative for people who you don't even necessarily need like a big run of tees. So you can do something like that, and it'll work for you. Obviously, I do different stuff now. Like I said, these collages. What was this one called? Just the Crunk Ain't Dead chain tee. So I got all the rappers that I saw that had, just the theme was chains. Obviously, rappers wear a lot of chains, so I did the chain tee. It's another Daywalker's joint. This is a smaller one. Again, with the fabric paint. Fabric paint, again, is a good alternative if you're doing like a limited run of tees. You just want to, you know what I mean? This is one I did as well, Proven Hustler. Again, with fabric paint. So it's still